Welcome to the free audiobook version of The Everyday Pain Guide, your go-to guide when pain first strikes. Hi, I'm Dr. Ya-Ling Liu, and the podcast is taking a little detour to make my new book available in an audio-friendly version for everyone out there. Each episode will feature a bite-sized snippet from the book, and together we'll work our way through as much of it as is possible in this format. What's exciting about this is that I'm reading parts of the book to you before it's even available on the shelves. Plus, unlike with a traditional audiobook, you can engage with the content and chat with me about what you hear. You get to ask questions and tell me what you think as each episode rolls out. So sit back and relax as I bring you today's installment of the second book in the Everyday Pain Guide series, Fix the Fire Damage. In the last episode, I introduced you to 6 garbage influencers unique to the food and liquids journey through our body machine. Today, we're looking at just 3 garbage influencers unique to the journey that air takes before its contents land in our blood transport system, ready to be either used or discarded. A quick reminder that the information, techniques, and suggestions discussed here are not intended as a substitute for your own individual medical care. Please consult a healthcare provider before implementing any advice referenced. Garbage influencers of the air journey. Number 1, mucous membranes. Trap. These are layers of a very special kind of cell that produces a goo called mucus. These mucus-producing cells are found on many surfaces inside the body, including the internal lining of our respiratory tract. This sticky mucus acts as a physical trap to stop some particles from entering deeper into the lungs. If you ever had a cough or have blown your nose, you were expelling trapped particles and invading molecules. Number 2, hair cells. Referred to as cilia, these hair cells don't just wave in the wind like the hair on your head. They actively play a role in moving molecules through the airway. They are found all along the upper airways and provide a form of transportation for the molecules that were physically trapped by mucus. Picture someone crowd surfing at a concert, and that's not too different from how the mucus-trapped molecules surf their way up and back out of the airway on top of waving crowds of those cilia hair cells. Number 3, immune cells. Neutralize. The far ends of your lungs are made up of literally millions of tiny bubble-like structures called alveoli. A single one would be called an alveolus, but there are millions. So these little blind end or cul-de-sac air pouches are where the gas exchange between air, blood, and the body takes place. This is also where we have important immune cells that are specifically designed to deal with the ingredients in our air before they enter our bloodstream. The unfortunate reality is that our air also contains burdensome garbage like sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, carbon monoxide, benzene, and fine dust particles containing heavy metals. When these and other unfriendly things reach the tiny air sacs at the far end of the lungs, those alveoli, they become exposed to your bloodstream, which can then take them on the journey through your body. Luckily, blood will then carry dangerous garbage like this to your liver, the organ best equipped to process things like this. What are we breathing in and out? Let's try to better understand what this invisible air garbage is to better appreciate what our air garbage influencers are dealing with. Air is generally made up of a mixture of gases and airborne particles, The particles can be things that, under certain circumstances, are volatile enough to become airborne, like dust, pollen, or wood smoke. Most of the gases consist of naturally occurring elements that come from our Earth's atmosphere, like nitrogen, oxygen, argon, carbon dioxide, neon, helium, methane, krypton, hydrogen, and xenon. That was probably a flashback to your periodic table from chemistry class. The quantities and proportions of what we inhale are a bit different from what we exhale. For example, we exhale about 100 times more carbon dioxide than we inhale. Clearly, this is a major garbage out gas that we need to get rid of, and a good reason to pay attention to your breathing. You can view the corresponding chart of air ingredients for details of other inhaled versus exhaled gases. Here in the book, there is a chart giving readers a visual representation of these same proportions of air ingredients divided into inhaled versus exhaled. So there's nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and a category called other gases that you would see in this chart. We also exhale things like acetone and isoprene, which you won't see on the chart because they are not inhaled gases, but rather they're the results of having to break down sugars, fats, and cholesterol from the garbage introduced by food and liquids. That completes another tiny installation of the chapter entitled Body Chemistry Repair Guide, Part 1, from Volume 2 of the Everyday Pain Guide series, Fix the Fire Damage. Remember to check the links in the show notes for how to get your free year-long subscription to my Substack publication, Better Pain Coping, where you can also share your reactions, questions, and personal experiences with pain or anything you heard in this episode. As you know, once in a while, I like to leave you with a question at the end of an episode. And today, I want to know what you think about this idea of air being a form of garbage that our body has to sort through. Most of us don't think about breathing until we have a cold or if we deal with asthma or something like that. And even then, I'm not sure most of us are that aware of how important exhalation, breathing out, is from an expelling garbage kind of perspective. I'll be chatting a bit more about what I tell patients to do with their breath and why over on Substack later this week. I hope you can join me there. In the next episode, you'll hear about the 5 garbage influencers unique to the journey things take when they are absorbed through our skin. See you then. This episode was an excerpt from The Everyday Pain Guide, your go-to guide when pain first strikes. Written and narrated by me, Dr. Ya-Ling Liu, with audio editing and production provided by Organized Sound Productions. Do you have questions or comments about today's episode? You can shoot me an email anytime at hello@stopeverydaypain.com. That's HELLO@stopeverydaypain.com. If you have friends or family members who you know are struggling with persistent, recurring aches and pains, tell them to check out the podcast while they're waiting for the book. To help me get this information to as many people who need it as possible, please consider leaving an honest review, but I'd also be super grateful for a simple like, follow, or share. Thank you for helping me put a stop to everyday pain.